morning children. Welcome to class. Today we will discuss about the topic reproduction in plants. Already in previous class we discussed the feature of living things. So plants also have the similar features, so they included in living things. So today we will discuss the reproduction in plants. Commonly plants belongs to the living things, so they have to reproduce. Then what is reproduction? Reproduction is the process by which the plants can multiply to make more of their own kinds. Okay, the process by which the plants can multiply to make more of their own kinds, or they can give birth to the new plants, is also known as reproduction. So in plants, reproduction takes place in three processes. Commonly, reproduction by seeds. The first is reproduction by seeds, and second is reproduction by spores, and the third process is known as vegetative propagation. Reproduction is done by three processes in plants. The first is known as reproduction by seeds, and second is reproduction by spores, and third is known as vegetative propagation. Okay, so now we will discuss about the reproduction by seeds. Do you understand this? What is this? Reproduction by seeds, reproduction by spores, or vegetative propagation. These three are the various methods of reproduction we can see in plants. Now we will learn about seed reproduction. Commonly we can see this type of the reproduction in flowering plants. So these plants also categorized into two types. One is the flowering plants and the second is known as non-flowering plants. So in flowering plants we can see the reproduction through seeds. Why? Because flowers are converted into fruit. Obviously we know that fruits contains the seeds. So when the seeds will fall down on any place of the earth, while they touch to the soil and they get the favorable conditions such as sunlight, soil and water, they can germinate into a new plant. Understood, no? When the seeds fall down on the earth and they will get the favorable conditions such as sunlight, water and moist, they will germinate into a new plant. So the seed converts into a sapling. Sapling means a small plant. So this is known as germination. Understood, no? The plant produces many seeds, but all seeds does not convert into a plant. Only some of the seeds can be germinate and some may not be germinate. So the germination of the seed depend upon the conditions. If the conditions are favorable, then only seeds may convert or seeds may grow into a seedling. What is the seedling? This is a small plant, okay? And these plants will be grow into a trees and again they will produce the flowers and fruits. Like this, in a cyclic manner, the life cycle of the plant will be occurs. Okay, this is about the seeds, reproduction by the seeds. Once again I will repeat, reproduction by the seeds. Commonly we can see this type of the reproduction in flowering plants. These flowers may convert into fruits, and obviously we know the fruits are contains the seed. While the fruit will be ripened, the seeds will be fall down on the earth, and when they will get the favorable conditions, the seeds will germinate into a new plant. Like this, the new plants will be formed from the seeds. Such process is known as seed germination. Okay, germination of the seed. And the second is reproduction by the spores. What is the second? Second process is known as reproduction by the spores. So then what are spores? Spores are one type of the structure we can see only plants. These are very small, round and very lightweight. This type of the structures we can see in non-flowering plants. The non-flowering plants which can't produce the flower, and these type of the plants reproduce through the spores. Why? Because seeds are not forming. Flower formation is not occurring in the plant, as well as if there is no flower, no fruit will be formed. So the seeds also not forming in such type of the plants. That's why they will do the reproduction through the spores. So here what are the spores? Spores are very small, tiny particles. Those are round and lightweight, and they will be dispersed to the various places. These spores will be dispersed to the various places very easily. Why? Because they are very lightweight by the wind or by the air, and some types of the insects and birds, they may be spread the spores from one place to another place, and these are known as agents of dispersal. The agents which are dispersing the spores from one place to another place are known as agents of dispersal. For example, I said now just before, rainwater or wind. Next, what can we say? Some type of the birds, insects and animals, they can carry the spores from one place to another place, and they spread the spores to the various places, and these spores will be germinate into a new plant. Understood, no? The new plant will be comes from the spores. And this type of the spore germination we can see in some type of the fungus, we can call as fungi, mushrooms, and we can see in molds. Okay, these all belongs to the fungal family or fungus. So we can see the roots. That's why they will do the reproduction by the spores. These spores are very small and round lightweight structures we can see on the surface of the leaves, and these spores will be dispersed from one place to another place through the various agents like water, wind, or the birds, insects are carrying these spores from one place to another place, and these spores may be germinate into new plants. We can see this type of the spore reproduction in fungi, mushrooms and molds. Okay. Next, the third process of the reproduction is known as vegetative propagation. The third process is known as vegetative propagation. This vegetative propagation is one of the propagation we can see in the plants. From the various parts of the plants, the new plants may be produced. For example, from the leaves or from the roots, or we can see from the stem, or other the various parts of the plants can give birth to the new plant. Such type of the reproduction is known as vegetative propagation. Understood, no? When the plants are reproduced from their roots, stems or leaves and other parts like seeds is called vegetative propagation. Understood, no? What is the meaning of vegetative propagation? The new plants will be rise from the various parts of the plant such as roots, stem, leaves and seeds. Such type of the propagation is known as vegetative propagation. So we can see the vegetative propagation through roots. Next, vegetative propagation through stems. Vegetative propagation through leaves. And vegetative propagation through bulbs. some roots are carrying food in them. Means they can store the food in the roots such as radish, carrot and turnip. So when we bury this, or when we, what we have to do? We have to plant in the soil. When we plant these roots in the soil, they will germinate into a new plant. Understood? No? The roots, some roots are storing the food material in them. When these roots are planted into the soil, they will become into a new plant. For example, carrot. We can see the carrot, radish, etc. Okay. Vegetative propagation through roots. We can see this type of the vegetative propagation through roots in carrot and radish. These are storing the food material in them. When we plant this carrot or radish or the roots which are carrying the food, they will germinate into a new plant. So this type of the propagation is known as vegetative propagation. Next, vegetative propagation through stems. Here example we can write as ginger. Okay, ginger, onion and potato. Onion is best example for bulbs, but here we will discuss about ginger. Ginger is also one of the stem only. This is not a seed, only stem. When we plant the ginger into the soil, it will give birth to a new plant. Understood? Ginger is one of the stem, and when we plant the ginger into the soil, it will germinate into a plant, new plant. Okay? Vegetative propagation through leaves. Example, bryophyllum. Bryophyllum is one type of the leaf. Okay, when we plant the leaf, or otherwise here no need to plant also. Just if the leaf get the favorable condition, the new plants may be form on the edges of the leaf. Like this, the new plants will be form on the edges of the leaf. Okay, this type of the propagation we can see in bryophyllum. In carrot, these are the new roots may be formed from the new plant may be formed from the carrot. Carrot is belongs to root. This is a leaf. Next, stem, ginger. From the ginger, new plants may be formed. Okay, this is known as stem. These are the various methods of vegetative propagation. Okay. Next, bulbs. Vegetative propagation through the bulb. Onion is belongs to bulb. When we plant the onion under the soil, the new plant will be rise from the bulb, onion. Okay. This type of the propagation or the reproduction is known as vegetative propagation. And stem cutting, we can see by the stem cutting also new plants may be formed in sugarcane and rose. We can see when we cut one small stem of the plant and buried under the soil, it will convert into a new plant. That is the stem cutting method. Okay, understood? This is about the vegetative propagation. The new plants will be rise from the various parts of the plant such as roots, stem, leaves and bulbs. So this type of the propagation is known as vegetative propagation. For example, vegetative propagation through the roots we can see in carrot and radish. These are the roots contains the food material. When we plant these roots, they will grow into a new plant. And stem, vegetative propagation through stem, we can see in ginger. Ginger is belongs to the stem. When we plant the ginger, new plants will be rise from the ginger. Next, vegetative propagation through the leaves is example bryophyllum. These leaves get the favorable condition. The new plantlets may be formed on the edges of the leaves. Next, vegetative propagation through the bulbs. Onion is best example for the bulb propagation. When we plant the onion, it will give rise to a new plant. These are some methods of vegetative propagation. Okay, ma, understood? No?